Welcome back to YouTube Rewind. We've got two special guests with us.
Hi everyone! Have you ever thought about what happens with your body, senses and mind while you're sleeping? Many of you will say that all the parts of our bodies are resting, regaining strength and so on. Of course it's true, but it's just not that simple. Some of you might think about snoring. But this is not the only curious and funny thing that happens while we're asleep. We really wanted to know more about it, so today we're going to tell you some interesting, useful and even terrifying things that'll happen to us while we're sleeping. Let's get it on. Falling. Most likely you've had a sudden feeling of falling that wakes you up when you're trying to fall asleep. Actually, it's not a dream about falling down as you might think, it's a physical sensation together with a hallucination. Don't giggle, it's not what you're thinking about. It's just a brain reaction to a wrong perception of the data. You have this falling sensation because your brain is already asleep, while your body is still awake. It happens sometimes when you're exhausted or you've had a stressful day, or you just haven't slept in 2 days. In this case, the brain doesn't awake your body and falls asleep as soon as you touch the pillow. By the way, there's another syndrome caused by fatigue known as the exploding head syndrome. It's when you suddenly wake up because of a loud sound or a flash of light in your eyes. Not the most pleasant thing, don't you think? One can even start stammering after this. If it happens to you too frequently, you can blame it on your brain that it's falling asleep before your body does, or blame yourself because you have to sleep instead of sitting in front of the computer all night. Sleep paralysis. And now it's time for something even scarier than falling down from a height. Imagine this situation. You kind of wake up. You want to get up and go to the bathroom or to the kitchen and get some water. And then you suddenly realize you can't move. How is that even possible, you might think, if I'm awake? Furthermore, you see all the things around you, hear all the sounds and feel all the smells. Some people suffering from this weird syndrome only feel the paralysis, but others even feel like they can't breathe, and some scary creature is sitting on their chest, trying to strangle them and take their soul away. Sorry, we got distracted for a moment. So, you can have this horrible feeling when you're falling asleep or waking up, when your body is still sleeping but your brain is not. According to scientists, from 5 to 8% of all people have had this sensation at least once. It is caused by the same companions of the best students and workers of the year, stress and sleep deprivation. The sleep paralysis itself is freaking scary, but at least it's not dangerous. But if you really don't want to feel it, we recommend you to stick to your sleeping schedule and try not to sleep lying on your back. People usually suffer from sleep paralysis while in this position. Sleepwalking. The last part was about a pretty harmless thing, but somnambulism can be very dangerous. While sleepwalking, you can easily stumble over something, fall out of a window, raid the fridge, get out of your house and even start driving your car. The most curious part is that you can do a lot of stuff during the night, but when you wake up, you most definitely won't remember any of it. You will start sleepwalking if you wake up enough to activate your body but not your brain. So if you sleep over at your friend's house and see him sneaking up on you and not answering your questions, don't freak out. He's just having a somnambulism attack. It can take from several minutes up to an hour. And by the way, if you feel too scared, you can hide under the bed and wait in another room. You must never wake up the poor sleepwalker, because it can be too stressful for him and he can end up having psychological trauma. Sleep talking. In some way, this phenomena is similar to the last one, but in this case, instead of doing something, people say all kinds of stuff in their sleep, from poems to insults. If you happen to witness something like this, don't wake up the talker to tell them what you really think of them, because they don't mean to do it. Almost always, this activity happens in the first 2 hours after falling asleep, when the body is already in the deep phase sleep, while the muscles have enough strength to reflect the content of the dreams and the emotions from that day. But if you try to pull out some secrets from the talker, you probably won't be able to pull it off. Usually this sudden talking lasts for no longer than 30 seconds, and we doubt someone can tell you enough in that time. Recurring dreams. Do you happen to see the same dream over and over again? Usually these dreams are easy to remember because they're really colourful and emotional. But why does it happen? Why can't our brain think of something new while we're in sleepy land? Actually, these dreams are really important to us. They warn us that we have some unfinished business or attract our attention to some events in real life that we can't see for some reason. Also, they can be caused by a problem you're stuck on and don't know what to do with. We're right, aren't we? Then, before you go to sleep the next time, try to think about your problem and maybe you'll come up with a solution, and then you'll have some new recurring dream. Your nose is sleeping too. People who love to sleep often say, "I won't wake up even if you shoot cannons at me." But actually, loud and sudden noises like your neighbors drilling the wall in the morning or celebrating something at night can pull out any person from even the deepest sleep. By the way, alarm clocks work based on the same principle, but now we're going to talk about an organ that's impossible to wake up.